Well, I made it to Ushuaia, what is known as the end of the world. So much I want to say, and I've decided that I just want to capture the story. I'm not trying to be an influencer or anything like that, but I want to just talk about setting goals for yourself and consciously and subconsciously working towards those goals. I had this idea probably 30 years ago that I wanted to be on every continent. And I am finally realizing that dream. I'm not there yet. The Antarctica is the 7th, and I will be headed out on Thursday for that. So lots to tell you about. It's just lots of wonderful stories. But I just want to acknowledge that sometimes it's good to go away from home, because right now we're going through so much evilness, so much drama, and I have been treated with nothing but love and respect my whole trip. Well, once I got out of Philadelphia airport. In Argentina, the people were just so loving, so kind, so wanting to help me. And I noticed this before. You go to these other countries, they're not always about the tip. They're about building the relationship. I literally had to beg a couple people, please take this tip from me, because they were so helpful. And one guy here today in Ushuaia, he just simply refused. He said, no, ma'am. He says, I cannot take that from you. He said, we had a good time, and we really did have a good time. He is one of the native people. His name is, his Christian name, as he says, is Gabriel. But he's one of the native from Ushuaia. And he was telling me today about how all the tourism is coming in, and it certainly is changing the dynamics of how they live. But talking about feeling good about being in a place, these people were so lively. Youth were out, and it was 5 o'clock when I got here. School was out, and families were out playing, enjoying themselves. It's just something we don't get to see. They weren't stressed. Let me just put it that way. They weren't stressed. And I'm sure that they are challenged to have some of the things that they would want in life, but they know how to have that balance. And I pray that we can get back to a balance in the United States of America. People chuckle. And one guy said, ooh, you all have something on your hands. And I said, yes, we do. But you know, God is good, and we know he still sits on the throne and is watching everything. And I know he's going to turn that situation around. But back to being in Ushuaia. First, I had to really practice to say it. I finally got it, and this young man practiced with me today, so I was able to get it. The interesting thing, on the way to Ushuaia, I was on the plane, and I thought it was a direct flight, and it ended up not being a direct flight. We had a layover in this town called El Calafante. I believe that was the name of it. And I have to really look that up, because I don't know I don't know who would be out there. I didn't see anything around but mountains, and maybe it's a research part. But anyway, out of 200 people on that plane, everybody got off the plane. The plane was full, not as empty seats, so it may have been more than 200. Everybody got off the plane except me. And I thought, wow, that's really strange. And I was sitting in their equivalent of, those local airlines first class. It was 4 seats up front. And so that was fun, and that was nice. So anyway, they got off the plane. I sat there with the attendants and the captain while they ate, so they could carry on, and people loaded up to come to Ushuaia. Got here, and it is hot. It is so hot. I was all prepared. I put my jacket on, had my sweater on, my jacket on, put my gloves on, scarf around my neck, and it was smoking here. It was about 40 degrees here, which is unusual, but it is their summer season, and so you can expect degrees around 30 degrees. But it was smoking, so it was just a nice trip. The hotel is lovely, just first class all the way. and walked across the street. I was right on the main street, and got some their famous chocolates. They're very well known for their chocolates. And I'm just enjoying my time. Talk to you later.